What's good, everyone? How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the first Talk to Flow series, the first edition. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. My name is Flow-Izzy. I'm an Afrobeat artist, or let's say Afrofusion artist. I was born and brought up in Lagos, and I currently live in Houston, Texas. I wouldn't say a lot of artists are copying sounds, or I wouldn't say a lot of Afrobeat artists are copying sounds and calling it influence. That's just what Afrobeat is all about. Afrobeat is all about, incorporating, different sounds and different genres into the sound itself. Because the real Afrobeat doesn't have an S, so that is a different sound entirely. So I won't generally say Afrobeat is, copying sound. That's just what Afrobeat is all about, and that's what makes it stand out and make it, even more acceptable right now. And finally we get to have Afrobeat, on the mainstream media and all of that. And Control, I would say Control is just more of an, Afro pop, kind of genre, some bedroom kind of music, you feel it. Yeah, most of my sounds are kind of like personal because I'm a very conscious artist. I like, talking in my sound. I like, expressing my feelings. Generally, I like, just my situations, my journey. I like, incorporating all of that into my sound and, making people see the projection of where I am, where I'm trying to go, and where I'm trying to, be in the music, business and in my career and all of that. Control is just another, I would say another intimate part of Flow Easy that I'm trying to, make people see. Because like I said, Control is a bedroom song, when you're trying to have that intimate moment with your girl, two people, being in love, trying to have that intimate moment. I think Control is that song you should actually, vibe to, turn on that red light and, just have that experience because Control is that song that is definitely gonna get you in the mood. And I made this song for generally people like that are actually lovers. Flow-Izzy is an artist that makes songs for lovers, loners, overthinkers, late night drive and all of that shit. So Control is that kind of sound. It's an Afro pop sound that is used to make intimate love. Oh, that's a good one. Um, I won't say the music industry is actually trying to keep Afrobeat artists from going mainstream unless they water the sound because Afrobeat has always been that sound where you get to infuse different genres, try different sounds, vibe to different sound and see what works and what doesn't work. So Afrobeat is one of those experimental sound that you could actually infuse so many things into and just vibe because it's a happy sound. You want to be happy, you want to vibe, depending on the mood or whatever state you're in. So I wouldn't say any Afrobeat artists are trying to water down their sound, just to get on the mainstream media because that's what Afrobeat is all about in the first place. Ooh, that sounds like a good question. Yeah, Control is a love song, for intimacy, and it can actually also be a power move. And for some people, it can be a red flag too, depending on whoever is listening to it and whatever mood you're in, whatever state you're in. Control could be that song, but Control is actually a song that was made to get you in the mode, get you in that intimate feeling, and get you going on, get you turning on the red light, and get you, just be wherever you want to be, which your lover, and you're having a good time all together in general. Yeah, I think the ladies would actually feel Control more than the men because Control was actually made for the ladies. This is a song that's trying to appreciate, the females, it's trying to appreciate the ladies we have today in society. Y'all beautiful, y'all gorgeous, y'all holding it down for your guys, y'all holding it down for your men and all of that. This is a song that's actually trying to appreciate what you guys are doing and trying to put y'all in the mood to actually, be in control in the bedroom. You already know what I'm talking about. So I feel like ladies are gonna feel control more because this one is for them. So I feel like the ladies will actually feel this one more though. If control doesn't chat, doesn't get a sing, doesn't go viral, I still believe it's the right song because, like I said earlier on, I'm a conscious artist. I'm just trying to make a song that people could actually relate to. Sometimes it doesn't have to go viral. Sometimes it doesn't have to chat, and sometimes it doesn't get a synchronization, and all of that. But at the end of the day, if I'm able to connect with people and people are able to make love using control, I think that's I'll call that the success for me because that's actually what the song is all about. The song is actually made for people to make love to. So if people are actually in their bedrooms with their red lights on and making intense love to control, then that would be a success to me. I'm not even gonna lie. What success actually is gonna look like to me right now is when I finally get to, get DMs or messages from people, telling me how much they actually, love the song, how much intense love they're making with the song and stuff like that, then that would actually, that would be a success for me right now. I'm not even gonna lie, that would be a success story for the song itself. Yeah, Afrobeat is everywhere right now. I don't think that's a news anymore. Afrobeat is on, on runways, ads. I watch some Netflix movies. I see Afrobeat, all over the place. Finally, shout out to big artists like Burna Boy. Shout out to Davido, Whiskey. That's my boy. I love Whiskey so much. Shout out to all these big artists like Omale, Fireboy, Rema. The Prince of Afrobeat himself. Shout out to all these niggas. They're doing their thing and putting Afrobeat on the world map. So I would say we all are benefiting from the culture itself right now. Everybody's actually benefiting from Afrobeat right now because we I'm in the United States. I was born and brought up in Lagos, Nigeria, and I get people over here in the United States finally vibing to a song from an unknown artist like me over here. Like that's a huge success already for Afrobeat itself. Like for people to be vibing to my kind of like sound, to my song in the United States, bro. We out here already. We're doing it big already. So I would say I would say everybody's benefiting from Afrobeat being on the mainstream right now, one way or the other. It might not be monetary to everybody right now, which I understand because it's a journey. This music game is a marathon. Sometimes it's even longer than a marathon. So we just have to, you just have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep, doing what you gotta do. You have to stay consistent. And one day, you never know. It just takes one song, and story gonna change because I believe my story is definitely gonna change someday too. So I'll say definitely one way or the other, everybody's benefiting, from Afrobeat being on the mainstream. Woo! Something I never said publicly that Control never gave me. I would say Control finally gave me the permission to finally go really intimate. I actually do go intimate with my songs sometimes, but Control finally gave me the permission to actually go real intimate with the love making because I'm a lover boy. I'm a mama's boy. I was raised to respect ladies, and I always like my girls to be in control when we in that. You understand what I'm talking about. I just don't want to say that on camera, but so control actually gave me the permission to actually finally talk about the lover side of Flow-Izzy, which I don't get to show in public because most of my songs that I've been dropping lately has always been about me, talking about life journey and all of that. So controllers have actually given me the permission, to actually come intimate, and like I said, the song is made and curated for intense love making. So when you listen to Control, make sure you have your man, make sure you have your girl, make sure the red light is turned on, and make sure y'all make intimate love. I like intense intimate love. You already know what I'm talking about. Social media. I think social media generally is making everything better. I'm not even gonna lie, though it's changing the game. But social media is actually, in general, making everything better. Social media is actually also giving control to independent artists like us. I know people could be chasing algorithm, which is normal. We are all, bro. It's we're in the AI we're in the AI generation right now, so you definitely have to chase the algorithm for people to actually be able to see what you're doing. So I understand we are all chasing the algorithm. I'm chasing the algorithm. Look at me sitting down. I would rather be shooting content to my song, but look at me sitting in front of the camera talking to people because I'm also chasing the algorithm. So I'm not even gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm not gonna lie about that. But at the end of the day, you just have to find a way to also be able to make good songs because regardless of social media, I still try to make good songs. I still try to make, really, 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 really good songs. And so regardless of if social media, if everybody are chasing, the social media algorithm, I will still say do not stop making good songs. Because at the end of the day, how are you gonna chase the algorithm without making a good songs? Make it make sense. Hmm. One popular opinion about the Afrobeat scene. I'm gonna say this. I do not care who is listening to this right now. One very popular opinion about the Afrobeat scene is fake love. There's too much fake love going down in the Afrobeat scene. There's too much gatekeeping going down in the Afrobeat scene, and I wish we could do more for ourselves. I really do wish I really do wish we could do more for ourselves, and I'm very sure people in the comment section are gonna agree to this. There's too much fake love in the Afrobeat scene. There's too much gatekeeping going in the Afrobeat scene. We need to love ourselves more because we are all we got, and we need to do more for ourselves. Finally, we're on the mainstream media. Let's appreciate one another. Let's show real and genuine love to one another. Bro. What else do we have? Who else do we have? We only got ourselves. So why the fake love? Why the gatekeeping? Show love to your brothers. Show love to your brothers. Support your brothers. Support your fellow Afrobeat artists. Friends, y'all support your fellow Afrobeat artists. Like for real. Like let's be honest. Y'all supporting artists that do not even know you or care about you. But you got your friends, making same songs. If the songs are not good, that's your friend. Be honest and let him know about that. Let him know what he's doing, so he could actually get it right. But you just being in the shadows and acting like you don't know your artist friend is actually making music. That shit sucks. I'm not even gonna lie. That sucks. So the fake love is one of the things I actually, do not fuck about in the Afrobeat scene. You all need to support yourself and support one another and stop the gatekeeping. Yeah, Control is out now. Control is actually out now. 5 years from now, when people, look back at Control, I want them to still keep turning on the red light, keep making intense love with Control. I want them to understand this during this stage of my journey. This is just me, being real right now. This stage of my journey is just it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's really hard being an independent artist. But this stage of my journey is just trying to do what I could do the best, trying to do the best I could do right now, trying to stay consistent, trying to keep it going, trying to stay grounded and, putting out good music regardless of if it's seen or art, because I know someday I'm definitely gonna be seen on art. So I want 5 years from now, I want people to understand my journey and how far, I came to get to where I'm going to be. And this is me talking to my future self. When you finally have the millions, when you finally have the fans, when you finally have everything you've ever prayed for, you made it, nigga. But do not stop and do not change who you are. And I hope you're still happy regardless. I hope you're still happy. And this is me talking to my 5 years. This is me talking to my future self. Sorry about that, though. And yeah, that'll be it for today. I hope y'all enjoy this, honest, bunch and honest, episode of Talk to Flow. I'm gonna be doing this more often. I'm gonna be coming out, more often, talking to people. Getting, to know y'all more better, sharing my sides that is not actually part of the song. And I hope you guys, enjoy this first episode of Talk to Flow. I'll see y'all some other time, and make sure you're streaming Control. Control is out right now, and do not forget, turn on the red light, get your man, get your girl, make intense love with Control. See you some other time. Peace and love.